Hello and welcome to the Butler Collegian Newscast. I'm Jake Bedell.
And I'm Chelsea Groves. Nikki and Catalina are off this week, so we have some role changes for this week's episode.
Butler Blue III, or Trip, will be retiring as the university's live mascot following the conclusion of the 2019-2020 academic year. The beloved Bulldog has been an active figure for the school for 8 years, traveling far and wide to congratulate prospective students in their admission to Butler. Trip and owner Michael Kaltenmark have been running onto the court at Hinkle Fieldhouse since 2012. Kaltenmark says in a press release on the Butler University website that Bulldogs have an average lifespan of about 8 to 12 years. He said, quote, that now that Trip is in that range, we want to make sure that he gets to enjoy the simple pleasures of life as just our family dog, end quote. Trip's farewell tour, titled One Last Trip, will span the remainder of the academic year and celebrate the dog's storied history.
Former Lacey School of Business Dean Dick Fetter earned the Sagamore of the Wabash Award on October 1st. Fetter has been a member of the Butler faculty for 27 years and became the dean in 1999. He played a significant role in the creation of first-year business experience and the Real Business Experience. This award is the highest civilian honor in the state of Indiana. The governor of the Hoosier State presents the award to someone who demonstrates extraordinary service to their state.
After only being a campus club for 2 years, the eSports team is getting their own campus facility. The university announced that a gaming lounge will be opened in Atherton Union in late November this year. The facility will contain 16 gaming PCs, a console gaming area, and a tabletop gaming area. In addition, the university says that a 7,500 square foot multi-purpose facility is expected to open in fall 2020 on the ground level of the Butler parking garage. The larger space will include added gaming areas as well as a cafe, and it will be open to host live competitions.
The Butler University Dual Engineering Program is celebrating its 20th anniversary. This is a 5-year program that allows students to take classes on the campus of Butler and IUPUI, which earns them 2 degrees, one from IUPUI's Purdue School of Engineering and a liberal arts degree from Butler. Student feedback on the program has been positive. Isaac Wall, a sophomore mechanical engineering major, says, quote, every employer has definitely shown interest in me earning 2 degrees from 2 great schools and loved having someone with a business and engineering background, end quote. The engineering department will be moving from Jordan Hall to the new Sciences Complex after its completion in 2 years.
The Scotty's Doghouse replacement, Chatham Tap, has officially opened for business. The English-themed restaurant and pub opened last Friday, October 25th. The restaurant received mixed reviews from customers. Following a busy homecoming weekend, many complained about long wait times, but complimented the hospitality of the staff.
And now over to Kat's Corner as she elaborates on the Brexit situation.
You might have heard the term Brexit flying around. It literally means Britain's exit. This Thursday was meant to be the deadline, but for the 3rd time it has once again been postponed. But what does this mean, and why has Britain not just left already? In June 2016, Britain had a referendum where 52% of the population voted to leave the European Union. But it was a closely fought fight, and the majority of people no longer wanted to be part of the EU. But no one's ever left before, so no one knew how to go about it. This is where the various negotiations with the EU come in. Some politicians want a soft Brexit, meaning trade and border relationships will remain open, and some want a hard Brexit, meaning more self-reliance. And some simply want no deal at all, axing the relationship with no future help, not to mention the large proportion of MPs who voted to remain. This is why a deal has not been made, and the deadline has been continuously pushed back. Whatever the outcome, Brexit will affect all areas of British life, from the Northern Irish border to farming. The uncertainty is wearing thin on the British public, not least the purse strings, and a conclusion to the process would be very welcome. That being said, a general election was announced just this afternoon for December. What happens with that remains to be seen, but it will undoubtedly shape what happens next with Brexit proceedings. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kat. Now over to sports. Let's hear about what's happening in the world of Butler sports with Chuck.
Well, Chelsea, a lot has happened over the last week. Butler volleyball had a busy weekend with 2 games between Friday and Sunday. The Dogs' first game was a heartbreaker as they lost in 5 to Villanova. Sunday was a different story when the Dogs took down Georgetown 3-0. The day was offensively dominated by senior Brooke Gregory and freshman Meghan Sheridan with 4 kills and 3 kills respectively. The last set was tight as it went to extra points, but the Dogs were able to hold on for the 29-27 win. Butler volleyball takes to the road again Friday against DePaul. Both men's and women's cross country finished their seasons at home for the Bulldog Invitational on Friday. The meet was held at the Northview Church course and featured runners from Butler, Indiana, Indiana State, Purdue, and IUPUI, as well as other unattached programs. The men and women placed second in both races while resting their top runners. The two teams will be prepping for the Big East Cross Country Championship next week on Saturday, November 2nd at the Wayne E. Danhill a national cross country course in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where the women have already claimed a title this year. The Butler football team took the rain-drenched field against Jacksonville last Saturday as part of the homecoming festivities. With just a total of 12 passes, the Dogs put up 24 points in their first Pioneer League win of the season. With the game tied at 14 at halftime, Butler went on a 10-0 scoring run to bring home the win. The men's soccer team went 1-1 this week with games against Marquette and Villanova. In Milwaukee last Wednesday, Marquette scored 2 first-half goals in the 16th and 41st minutes, which sandwiched a Wilmer Cabrera Jr. goal in the 38th minute. In the second half of play, Marquette netted their third goal in the 54th minute. The score stayed at 3-1 until Butler senior Brandon Gould laced one in the 67th minute off an assist from fellow senior Jared Timmer. The game ended 3-2. The Dogs celebrated their seniors' last home game Sunday with an extra time win over Villanova. The game stayed scoreless throughout all of regulation, and it took an extra 13 minutes before Brandon Gould headed a corner kick into the back of the net for his 7th goal of the season and a 1-0 win. Our women's soccer team had a ripper of a week with 2 games, one against Providence and the other against Marquette. After being shut out by Georgetown, their offense went wild in the first half with a 13-4 shot advantage. It wasn't until the 67th minute that a shot landed from senior Macy Miller, giving Butler the 1-0 win. The highlight of that game, though, was the defensive showcase from goalie Stephanie Rodriguez, which earned her Big East Goalkeeper of the Week. The ladies continued their winning ways as they took on Marquette last Sunday. The Dogs had 3 goals by 3 players, Macy Miller, sophomore standout Katie Soderstrom, and freshman Alana Wood. They take on Xavier on Thursday in a game that could land them the #1 seed for the Big East tournament if they are victorious. Now we head over to our sports analyst Donald Crocker for his Team of the Week.
Thanks, Chuck. The collegiate team of the week is the men's basketball team. The Bulldogs beat the IU Kokomo Cougars 70-40 in their first exhibition of the 2019-20 season. Butler's defense held the Cougars to a measly 28% from the field and managed to force 19 turnovers. The Bulldogs dominated the glass and out-rebounded the Cougars 43-28. Jordan Tucker added 9 points and 7 rebounds, showing off his ability to finish at the rim. Butler led IU Kokomo 46-19 at the half and never looked back. Sean McDermott started the year off hot after leading the Bulldogs in scoring with 18 points while shooting an impressive 4 from 6 from downtown. Butler will play another exhibition this Friday, November 1st, against University of Indianapolis. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Donald. That's all for this week's Butler Collegian Newscast. To stay up to date with all things Butler campus, visit us at thebutlercollegian.com or follow us on Twitter at Butler Collegian. I'm Jake Bedell.
I'm Chelsea Groves.
And I'm Chuck Levine.
Happy Halloween, dogs!